Bam! Welcome to You Be the Judge. I'm Coach Neighbors, and we bring some fire to the table. So today we're going to talk about that a little bit. But before we get started, I got to do that a couple of times. I want you guys to click on that bell. Make sure you click on those ads so that I can get paid for bringing this free fire to the table, and make sure that you ring the bell so you get notifications when it's time to rock and roll. Now I'm going to just start here, and then I'm going to get over there. So just with me. Most of the facts that people know about the legal system, they learn from attorneys or bar members or from the system who is reporting what bar members tell them. Okay, and it's pretty much lies. Everything that you learn about the legal system is a lie, especially if it's conventional stuff, it's a lie. If you learn it from an attorney, it's a lie. That's the best way to go into anything that has to do with my program. Okay, everything that you know about what you think is going on is a stinking lie, and so we're going to point that out right here. So I want you to remember that when people started letting me know how these facts go, that I'm going to lay out. And I want you also to remember that what I'm putting on the table here, okay, is what I have learned from you people, from you badasses that have been kicking these people's butt with my stuff. What we're due here is done from real-time feedback that come in from people all across the United States telling me about how these fools are trying to get around my stuff. So when you build a program like that, and I didn't start out doing that, I'm not trying to say that. This is where we ended up at. Okay, so when you have a program like that, you shouldn't have a bunch of whole problems. If there's a problem, I find out because someone ain't happy. We make some changes, send them another, no, pretty soon, you get this stuff wrapped up pretty tight. So when you understand how you ended up in a situation, you must learn the truth about the registering of your property deed. That's where we're going to go now. The truth about the registration of your property deed. And I'm going to tell you this based off of my own experience as well. So most of you think that registering your property deed is to keep others from signing on to your property. That's a lie. As a matter of fact, it does the absolute opposite. When you register your property deed down there, anybody can go down there and look at it. I have people that have been in my foreclosure program that had all the documentation to show that the lien was released on their property, have all the stuff, it's all signed in, but they're in foreclosure. How the hell's that happen? Well, it happens because crooked ass attorneys go down here and at the county recorder's office where they have your stuff, where all the attorneys can get to it, and they fill out a fake assignment against your property, and then they send you this fake assignment. And then some people just think it's a real assignment, and then they just start sending them the payment. Oh, I think you see where I'm going here. And now you have the other people over there that were screwing you over in the first place because there was never any mortgage loan. All that was created with your own signature. So those people over there wondering why they ain't getting their payment, and then you're telling them, hey, you sent this assignment, and they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, now you're so many months behind. But you're not behind because you gave somebody your damn money. All that happened because your property was registered in their office. There's cases where people from other countries have signed into the recorder of deeds office and took over sold their property. And yeah, you have to be pretty smart to do that. All that stuff is doable because your stuff is registered in the office for everybody to see. Oh, and there's no law that says that you need to register your property in their office. There's no law. Okay, so most people think their property deed is registered to be protected, and that's the main thing that I want to talk about tonight. Your property deed is not registered to be protected. Your property deed is registered to allow the first illegal lien to be put on your property. Now, what the hell was that? The first illegal lien was the mortgage lien. Yep. And here's why it was illegal. Just slow down for a second and follow me. Okay, think about this. If there were several people who own property, all of those owners would have to be present to sign that mortgage lien, right? Right. Okay, so I'm talking to myself. So the fact that the alleged lender accepted the signature from your happy ass on the alleged lien shows that you owned it already. And I smell stink. Now, how you owned it already is like 10 more videos. Okay, but I'm just saying, okay, I play football and I box. Those are two things not smart people do. So I have to keep it simple. The fact that they accepted your signature on the lien with nobody else proves that you own that property already. Now, you only own it for a very short amount of time because when you registered it to them, they gave you a fake copy. They made a copy of a security, which is absolutely a federal violation of law. If your I did that and you gave them you see where I'm going with that? Yep. So the registration of the property allowed the first illegal lien to be put on your property. That's how that worked. And then, because the lien-pledged loan was generated with your own signature on the promissory note. They stamp paid to the order of on it. After you left the table, vice president generally stamps paid to the order on without recourse, and they signed it. They turned it into like a security, a big check, and they process it through the Federal Reserve. That's how. And Modern Money Mechanics, a publication put out by some dude that's way smarter than I am on banking fraud, says that the bank was granted 9 times the amount that went into a demand deposit account, and then they wrote a check 1 time. So they kept 8 times. Okay, so the registration of your deed in the office, real estate deed fraud. Real estate deed fraud. That's what it's called when they register your deed in the office. The state law says your deed is supposed to be delivered to you. That's what your property transfer statutes for your state reflect, that the deed's supposed to be delivered to you. And they're supposed to follow those laws, not you, because you're not a U.S. citizen. They're supposed to follow them, but they don't. They do what they call their constructive delivery, and they register your deed in their office for the sole purpose of, the illegal lien and reclassification. Now we're getting to the property tax part of it. Your property is reclassified solely for the purpose of taxation. Well, they're taking your property too, and they're using the collateral against, for loans from the federal government. That's a whole nother video. There's a lot of stinky stuff going on over here. So the registration of your property is the beginning of the real estate deed fraud. That's what it is. The law says they're supposed to deliver your deed to your house, and it actually says it's not conveyed, like yada, 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 until that's done. But that's not what they do. They register it to allow the first illegal lien to be put on it, and they also allow your property to be lined up in their computer. Have you ever wondered how they can sell your property on the courthouse steps in a non-judicial foreclosure in 30 days? Y'all ass know that the government ain't doing nothing So they do that because they already have a file. They tell you, no, there's no file in non-judicial foreclosure. We can't help you. You need to wait till you get into court. So then you wait till the eviction process starts. Well, that's all that starts because of the registration. Okay, let me ask you another question. Have any of you been in foreclosure and had the realtors come into your house? Okay, no, the foreclosure just started. You ain't even had a time to answer that shit in court, and you got these assholes coming to your house, knocking on your door, taking pictures of shit. Okay, how do I know all this? Back to the real time. Feedback. All that is from, how did your property get on foreclosure.com and Zillow and all of the realtor, that registration of your deed allows them to control your property. And the state statute mandates that the deed's supposed to be delivered. The registration allows the first illegal lien to be filed. Once your property is registered, it's reclassified from private property to one of their commercial classifications, which is residential, commercial, agricultural. Now, so your property has already been classified as commercial. Your property already has a commercial classification. They register your property in their, so the first thing they do is they change it from residential, commercial, if it's a zone commercial, or agricultural. Those are the 3 classifications that they change your property to for the illegal taxation and illegal attack and their illegal real estate deed fraud, blah, 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 and all that. Okay, so those are 3 classifications. But in the letter they sent us, they're acting like they want to classify it from residential to commercial because of this. So what is the process used to determine the lawful property owner? Is it chain of title? Is that what? So those fools tell everybody that you need to register your stuff with them so they can make sure nobody else gets on it and all of this stuff, whatever. But I've already pointed out that the very first lien to put on it because of the registration. So what is the process to determine the lawful property owner? Now, like I said, I did crazy stuff and I have to keep things simple. In my mind, it's the notary public signature. If someone shows up and they say, hey, that's my property, they're going to need to have a document that's signed and notarized prior to the one that you have in your Bible or your safe or the one that they're holding for over there that they won't give back to you. So now you got a situation. So all of a sudden, we're worried about the title being not clear or the chain of title. Well, if you're getting ready to sell it and you take it out of your Bible and somebody comes up and they say, this is my property, check out the document I have. Well, if their document is not signed and notarized prior to yours, I don't know. And it's a wrap. I don't understand how these thieves can get away with convincing people that you have to leave your stuff in their office. Okay, because if your stuff's signed and notarized and put away where no one has access to it, there's not going to be anybody. Yeah, I had one of my Facebook pages got shut down because I told people if your deed's not in their office, they're not going to be able to verify that there's a mortgage lien against your house. I'm just keeping it real. I know it's crazy, Coach. We got a lot of happy people that are still in their damn house. So you can say as crazy as you want to. What's crazy is I was on a website from Australia talking about the mortgage, the American mortgage, whatever. And just almost knocked me over. So the website in Australia said that, the American mortgage loan or whatever is just an agreement. It's just an agreement to voluntarily give your property over to the bank when you can't pay. Yeah, that's that's ground level 1, 2, 3 right there, because that's exactly what it is. And we sign that shit and we don't spend all the time reading it because our attorney looked it over. The title company people got attorneys. And some other people got attorneys up in here too. My research shows that the deed must be signed and notarized to be legal. So that means, I don't know, someone help me out here and post a comment if I don't have this right. That means that in order for someone to sign on to your property and take over it, they would have to have something signed and notarized prior to yours. So if that's the case and it's that simple, what the hell do we need them keeping your shit for? I mean, I don't know. I mean, somebody help me with this, because that's why do you have to register your stuff in their office? We're going to address this issue. I spent some time yesterday looking at the Kansas Constitution. But before I get into all of that, I want to let you know that statutes and codes are not valid law. Statutes and codes that the state uses to enforce in state court, the majority of them are not valid laws because they don't have enacting clauses, they don't have titles, and they don't have bodies. They're just legislative crap that's done between the legislator and the bankers. So I don't spend any time messing with them. I don't. All of my documents are structured with federal court case law to file in state court. And they can't do anything about it because there's no difference between doing that than there is than filing Supreme Court case law in either one of them. But the problem kicks their ass is that they can't respond to federal case law with state court crap. So that's a problem. So how can the Kansas Constitution allow for all of this stuff? Well, it doesn't really say that. I read it. What it actually says is personal property, like boats, cars, RVs, those kinds of things is what it. And then as it goes down a little further, it gets into real property. Okay? No, there's no real property. There's private property, and then there's your 10 classifications of shit. There's no real property. It's private property. And then you reclassify it as one of your commercial designations for the sole purpose of taxation and take it over the real estate deed fraud. Yeah. Man, so that's how that goes. And you can see right here that they're 25% for agricultural property, 30% they charge. Like, wow. They offer us an opportunity to fill out the paperwork to agree to this shit, and then they offer you on the back of that paperwork, they offer you opportunity to appeal, and then they'll have one of their people call you and tell you to go shut the hell up. I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to say. But that's not what we're going to do. We're not going to waste any time with no appeal or none of that stuff. And I'm answering to their letter here shortly. We'll have it ready on Tuesday, and we'll send that over to them, along with a copy of the notice of claim, which is actually going to be the lawsuit. That's how we roll. Our notice of claim is the lawsuit. So we're going to put it all together, and then they want to keep acting stupid, then we'll just send them the lawsuit, and because none of their stuff they're doing is legal. Thank you guys for the value of sharing your time. I'll see you guys in the next video.